Hey, look, I don't know what's going on, y'all. This computer is the only computer we just use it for class, man. This acting like it's got a virus or something like that. I don't know, but hell, it ain't acting right. It's gonna be hard to teach class if it's gonna keep doing this right here. I'm gonna try my best, y'all. So y'all gonna have to endure it with me. Um, this crazy as hell because the class don't need to be split up. I don't know what's going on. I really want to try to restart the whole computer. I don't know what's going on. Let me see something. All I when I'm teaching, it's a little box that pop up saying, telling me that I need to reload. And it said to prevent this from happening again. So I checked the box. So let's hope that it don't happen again, y'all. Let's hope that it don't happen. Well, what happened? Hell, it's just a little box popped up, and I don't know. It just said, "Look, to prevent this from happening again." I clicked the little box, and then I hit reload. So I'm hoping that it don't do it again because it's gonna mess up my class. So look, all right, look, let's go to First Maccabees 16. So okay, what we just read in that little excerpt out of let me see, out of the in the New Standard Jewish Encyclopedia was Judah Maccabees, that they said Judah Maccabee's son was John Hyrcanus. Now, Simon was John Hyrcanus' father. Let's read that. First Maccabees chapter 16, verse 1. And if anybody can sit up there and scribe for me, that'll be good if a brother can scribe for me. I say, then came up John from Gazara and told Simon his father what Senenibus had done. Wherefore Simon called his two eldest sons, Judas and John, and said unto them, I and my brethren and my father's house have ever from our youth unto this day fought against the enemies of Israel. So he was saying him and his brother, it was Judah Maccabees, Jonathan. They was the ones that was uh, fighting against the enemies of Israel. It's saying, and things have prospered so well in our hands that we have delivered Israel oftentimes. So now, John Hyrcanus is Simon Maccabee's son. Now jump over real quick to Second Maccabees 3 and 11, because a lot of people get confused right here when dealing with John Hyrcanus, because they come to this scripture right here and they think that this talking about John Hycranus because this is the only time that you see the name in the Bible. But and a lot of people will be like, okay, why did he call himself John Maccabees? He was of the Maccabean dynasty. But I'm gonna show you why he was calling himself Hyrcanus. Hold on. All right. It's saying this Second Maccabees 3 and 11, and that some of it belonged to Hyrcanus, son of Tobias. So you see that this Hyrcanus was the son of Tobias, not the son of Simon. It's a man of great dignity, and not as that wicked Simon had misinformed. Now this is talking about this Simon right here. We're talking about Simon Maccabees. It was talking about the high priest that was laboring underhand during their time to get the priesthood. It said the sum whereof in all was 400 talents of silver and 200 of gold. So I just want to show you. So this Hyrcanus right here is different from the John Hyrcanus you're gonna read about in First Maccabees chapter 16. Now the reason why they was taking the name Hyrcanus, let me see if I can find it. I thought I screenshotted it. Let me see some why they took the name Hyrcanus. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. I remember why they took the name Hyrcanus. I don't want to sit up there and try to explain it though. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. And it's Hycranus. Okay, meaning in history means of Hyrcania being a Greek form of a Persian name Hyrcana, which meant wolfland, and referred to a historic region in Persia. Hyrcanus was a member of the Hasmonean dynasty, the Jewish priest and king of Judea in the first century BC. All right, hold on. I'm going to see why he took the name. It was the reason why he took the name. See if I can find it. During that time, that name amongst the Hellenized Jews, it took like great dignity or something like that. I don't know. Hold on. It was something that I read about. So when I think of it, y'all, I'm gonna bring it back up, but I don't want to take too long. I want to keep going forward. You know what I'm saying? So look, let's go from there real quick. The first Maccabees 3. Let's get into when Judas fought Esau, start fighting the children of Edom. Now, remember what I said in the beginning. We ain't dealing with the Greek or we ain't dealing with the Romans. We're dealing with the children of Edom. Now, these Edomites here is Amalek, you know what I'm saying? They Amalek. But they were still living in the land of Edom. So when they went out to fight them, they was just said, hey, them the children of Edom. All right, now look, what we at? First Maccabees chapter 5, verse 3. It said, then Judas fought against the children of Esau in Idumea at Araptim, because they besieged Israel, and he gave them a great overthrow. It abated their courage and took their spoils. So these children of Esau here is Amalek. And the reason why you know they was Amalek, because of where they dwell. Now, I'm going to post the proper name for everybody that's reading along with me. And I don't know, we don't got nobody scribing. This crazy as hell, but it is what it is. I'm going to keep going, you know. Let me see something. I'm going to post the proper name for you, how it's spelled. No, hold on. I'm going to copy and paste it. All right, here you go, right here. So this is the land right here that the children of Esau was dwelling in. It was called Akrabatim. Akrabatim. Now, let me get the definition up. Let's see. All right, it say Akrabatim, a place in Idumea where Judah Maccabees defeated the children of Esau. Now, it was something else I had just to show you that these children, it's another name. Hold on, I'm gonna get it. Because it's in Judges or something like that. Okay. Okay, go to Numbers 34 real quick. Numbers 34. Hey, y'all, when you really get to going into this history, I'm telling you, like, hey, you got to sit up there. You got to take your time. You got to put the pieces together, because that's what the Bible is. The Bible is a history book. A lot of y'all, you still in this truth, like you in some type of religion or something, when you ain't dealing with history. You dealing with history and you dealing with prophecies. That's why a lot of you still can't get the understanding, because you acting like you at church. You know what I'm saying? When two or three come together in his name, that's church, period. You know what I'm saying? Two or three of y'all sitting around speaking about the gospels and going through the word, that's church. But you're learning your real biblical history, because your history is in the Bible. And not only your history, you got the histories of these other nations in the Bible that they're trying to hide from you. So they're trying to hide they're trying to hide who they are, because they know that the prophecies that's against them, you know what I'm saying, condemns them. So they try to hide who they is, to try to make it so you don't know who the children of Esau is or who Edom is. You know what I'm saying? They try to sit up there and hide their identities. Not like Ishmael. Ishmael, he took on his identity. The Arabs, They know they Ishmael, but for some reason, you got Negroes trying to convince other Israelites that the damn Arabs is, I mean, the Arabs are the so-called white man today. That's crazy as hell. When the Arabs telling you that they Ishmael, you know what I'm saying? They ain't claiming to be Edom. Yeah, you're right, Hoshiyah. They try to offset prophecies. That's what they be trying to do. You know, look, let's go here real quick. Numbers chapter 34, verse 3. It say, then your south quarter shall be from the wilderness of Zin, along by the coast of Edom, and your south border shall be the outmost coast of the Salt Sea eastward, and your border shall turn from the south to the ascent of Akrabim, and pass on to Zin, and the going forth thereof shall be from south to Kadesh Barnea, and shall go on to Hazar Adar, and pass on to Azum. So we were just dealing with the borders of our land. So just want to show you with Akrabim and Akrabatim. You know what I'm saying? Edom dwelt up in that area. The children of Edom dwelt up in that area. And a lot of times it was Amalek. And now, hold on, let me see something. Hold on, I'm going to go deeper into it real quick. Hold on. Let me Google this real quick. Actually, y'all, I had this together the other day. I had all my stuff pulled up. But it was the Day of Atonement, and the Most High moved me to do a spirit. I moved me in the spirit to do the class, you know what I'm saying, strictly about atonement. Because atonement, because you still got a lot of people that went into the Day of Atonement, and they still went into the Day of Atonement with the spirit of malice on them, the spirit of deceit, the spirit of hatred, you know what I'm saying? Lacking compassion and lacking mercy for one another, you know what I'm saying? They still had the damn devil on them. So I said, and I'm gonna tell you this, man. I'm gonna tell you this some wicked ass stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting at the house, I'm chilling the other day, and then I get a text. And basically somebody took a picture of one of the officers at the school, and he was laying down like sleep behind the leadership table. And they put a tag on it. This Day of Atonement, this happened, y'all. I'm telling you, this is the type of wickedness that goes on amongst Israel. That's how you know we are sick people. This Day of Atonement, brothers, everybody at the school, they congregated at 3 in the morning. Also dozed off for a minute. Somebody snapped the picture of them, and then they put a tag on it that said, this is the type of leadership we got to look up to. I said, whoever sent this wicked and evil as hell, you're supposed to be atoning for your sins, getting right with the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Atoning in righteousness. And all you can think about is because the officer fell asleep behind the leadership table, this the type of leadership you got to look up to. That's a spirit of hatred. That's a spirit of hatred. I don't give a damn if the person online not listening. I hope they're online listening. You got a spirit of hatred on you. If you don't repent, the Lord gonna kill your ass. It is what it is. They can take it how they want to take it. For real, that's evil as hell. Now, let's keep in mind, this same officer, he just went to every IUIC expo it was. This same officer just went to every IUIC expo it was doing the work. He was in Memphis doing the work. He was in Ohio doing the work. He was in, he just went to Tallahassee this weekend doing the work. What was the other expo we had? He was in Chicago doing the work. We just had like 4 or 5 expos. And he was there at all these different places doing the work. Matter of fact, before the expo started, he was in East St. Louis with us doing the work. So why you ain't looking up to that right there? You catch a brother early in the damn, I don't know what time it was. But the brother goes off for a minute or two, and you snap a picture of the damn brother, and then you send it to upper leadership and say, this is the example of leadership we got to look up to. Not only that, the brother, they just completed 31 days of camp. They just completed 31 days of camp. They had a little booth set up out there on college campus to sit up there to teach the people in college, but all you can think about, y'all see the type of BS we be dealing with, leadership be dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And then this be the messed up part about it. Then when you bring their BS out in front of everybody, then they get mad and want to leave. Then they want to sit up there and say, you evil, you wicked, and you this and you that, and they was righteous the whole time. And hey, look, I don't know how to say. I think it's Shabaniah. You right. Bug the hell out. Bug out. For real. Bug the hell out. That's that secret goddamn hatred going around. And then they sit up there, they think they ain't atoned for nothing. You ain't atoned for a damn thing. For real though. So this is the type of stuff we be dealing with, y'all. And then after a certain amount of time, we sit up there and say, okay, look, we got to rebuke this brother right here. Or we got to rebuke this sister in front of everybody. Why? Why we got to rebuke them in front of everybody? Because it ain't their first time doing this type of stuff. Or they got some type of issue going in the body where they keep causing division. Now we got to bring it up front to everybody. Everybody got to see the type of evil that this person doing. Everybody need to see this evil, you know. So, you know, I'm like, hell no. So y'all, I'm telling y'all, man, don't be moving in those spirits like that. Of course, I'm gonna tell y'all now. Day of Atonement was the day we atoned for our sins. All praise to the Most High. Okay, we get a clean slate for a whole nother year. There's all praises, but don't think no issues ain't gonna come after the Day of Atonement. Issues will come. Issues will arise, and when they come and do arise, if you were forgiving somebody for something that you had already atoned for or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Y'all let that go. Now, whatever new issues come up, that's what we're gonna deal with. You know what I'm saying? Let's deal with the new issues that come forth, and let's try to make it through that. That stuff that happened to the past, you're supposed to be forgiving your brother for that, forgiving your sister for that, forgiving your husband for that, forgiving your wife for that. There's gonna be more issues to come. But look, y'all, let's get back into the subject. So now here go another area right here. Let me see. Hold on. Let me. Hold on, y'all. Let's see. Give me a minute. I'm Googling some. All right, I'm gonna look up the word Amalek real quick. Amalek. Now this say Amalek. I say Amalek is a nation described in the Hebrew Bible. The name Amalek can refer to the nation's founder, a grandson of Esau. His descendants, the Amalekites, or the territories of Amalek, which they inhabited. The Hebrew Bible describes the Amalekites as a tribe which lived in ancient Israel and in the land called Moab. You see that they lived in ancient Israel too, and the land called Moab. And the reason why, like they border was real close to us. It say, and what the Romans call, now look, it say the Romans call this Arabia Patria or Patria, also known as Romans Arabian province, or simply Arabia, was a former province of the Roman Empire beginning in the 2nd century. So remember, because they conquered everybody, they conquered Ishmael and everybody. And this is why a lot of these Israelites being confused now, saying that no, the Esau this they have hell now. They say they was living in the territory that was conquered by Rome. You know what I'm saying? It was conquered by other Edomites. You know what I'm saying? Now, let me keep going. That's why it was called Arabia Petra or Petra. Because remember that a lot of Edomites or Esau, they dwelt in Petra. You can hold on, let me get it real quick. Petra. Let me see. All right, here we go. Petra, originally known to its inhabitants as Ramout, is a historical and archaeological city in southern Jordan. Petra lies on the slope of Jabal al-Mabah in basin among the mountains which form the eastern flank of Arabah Valley that run from the Dead Sea to the Gulf of Aqaba. According to, let me see, Hanno Mitch, I don't know how to say that, Hycranus of Cardia, the name Petra was given by Greek merchants who observed the city's inhabitants offer sacrifice in springtime to the deity on a large stone. Petra is believed to have been settled as early as 9000 BC and is possibly established in the 4th century BC as the capital city of Nabtea Kingdom. Now, when you look at certain pictures, if y'all Google Petras, you know what I'm saying, it'll be the cliff of the rocks and stuff like that. Now, I wanna go and get back into the lesson. So a lot of these Edomites that you read about, or these children of Edom, these children of Edom, these are the Amalekites. You know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of them, they try to confuse these Amalekites with the Arabs. And the reason why, because a lot of these Amalekites, remember, Ishmael territory was close to Edom. All their territories were close to each other during their time. So some of the places there was a name, you'll be like, hey, this is an Arab name. But now these Esau, these children of Edom. Now look where we at. So now remember, in 1 Maccabees chapter 5, verse 3, let's read that again. Then Judas fought against the children of Esau in Idumea at Arabatim, because they besieged Israel. And he gave them a great overthrow and abated their courage and took their spoils. So these children of Esau right here is Amalek. And the reason why you know they Amalek, because the territory they dwelt in, the name of the territory by itself, you know what I'm saying, Arabatim. You know what I'm saying? So this is how you know that these was Amalek. Let's jump down to 1 Maccabees 6 and 31. So at the same time he was fighting the Greeks, you know what I'm saying, he was fighting Amalek too. So these Greeks, they Edomites, and Amalek, these, notice they call them, just said, children of Esau, or children of Edom. Why? Because they were still dwelling in that land. Remember, Alexander the Great, he just came out of Japhet land because they had already conquered all Japhet land. Remember, their land had belonged to Japhet, but they just come out of Japhet land conquering it. That's why when you read 1 Maccabees 1, damn, y'all got me going deep into the history today. I got to get an understanding, because I don't want nobody to sit up there and be confused. 1 Maccabees 1 and 1. It's saying it happened after the Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Kittim, had smitten Darius, king of Persia and Medes, that he had reigned in his stead the first over Greece. So you see that he came out of the land of Kittim. What was they doing in the land of Kittim? They took over the land. Kittim, that's Japhet land. Alexander the Great is an Edomite. Remember, the Macedonians was Edomites. You know what I'm saying? Remember how we went over how Haman was from Greece, and he was an Amalekite. He was from Amalekite. Remember, Haman is the reason why we got the high holy day Purim. All right, so now let's go from there to 1 Maccabees 6, verse 31. It says, these went, I'm going to start at 30. So that the number of his army was 100,000 footmen and 20,000 horsemen and 32 elephants exercised in battle. These went through Idumea and pitched against Bashur, which they assaulted many days, making engines of war. But they of Bashur came out and burnt them with fire and fought valiantly. So you see that there was always in Idumea. They was fighting those Greek Edomites, and they was fighting these Amalekites too. That was in the land of Idumea. Now look, let's go from there to 2nd Maccabees chapter 10 real quick. Now before we go to 2nd Maccabees chapter 10, let's go to 2nd Maccabees chapter 10, verse 15. So what I'm going through now, I'm showing y'all how Judas was fighting these Amalekites. And I'm going to show you when John Hycranus is going to take charge. And when John Hycranus took charge, this is when he started, when he took the battle, that's when he took the battle, then he started converting them Amalekites to be Jews. The same tactics they was used on us, well, they sat up there and Hellenized us. He said, you know what? I'm going to convert them and I'm going to make them Jews. I'm going to convert them to Judaism. That's where their religion, Judaism, come from. I ain't saying it come from John Hycranus, but it's showing they come from the Edomites, because now they in our land and they call themselves practicing Judaism. And we don't practice Judaism, y'all. We don't practice that. You know, so we keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. We ain't no religion. So look, 2nd Maccabees chapter 10, real quick, verse 15. It say, and therewithal the Idumeans had gotten into their hands the most commodious hosts, kept the Jews occupied, and receiving those that were banished from Jerusalem, they went about to nourish war. So you see, Judas, they had a big fight, not only with the Greeks, but fighting these Amalekites also. You know what I'm saying? Not only fighting these Edomites that was Greek, but they was fighting these Amalekites that was still in the land of Idumea. You know what I'm saying? Let's read on. Then they that were with Maccabees made supplication and besought God that he would be their helper. And so they ran with violence upon the strongholds of the Idumeans. So you see Maccabees and his brothers, they always fighting these Idumeans. You know what I'm saying? Not only was they fighting these Idumeans, they was fighting the Greeks. You know what I'm saying? Now what ended up happening with the Greeks, because they was overcoming them, but I think when you read the history, John Hycranus went and made a league with Rome to keep the Greeks, you know what I'm saying, to help us fight against the Greeks. Let me keep going though. It say, then they that were with Maccabees made supplication and besought God that he would be their helper. And so they ran with violence upon the strongholds of the Idumeans and assaulted them strongly. They won the host and killed off all that fought upon the wall, and slew all that fell into their hands, and killed no fewer than 20,000. And because certain who were no less than 9,000 were fled together into two very strong castles, having all manner of things convenient to sustain the siege, Maccabees left Simon and Joseph and Zacchaeus also, and them that were with him, who were enough to besiege them, and departed himself into those places which more needed his help. So I'm just going through and showing you the history, how we were always always fighting with these Idumeans. Go from there to 2nd Maccabees chapter 12, verse 32. And these Idumeans here, remember, these Idumeans were Amalek. You had those Edomites, you had those Greek Edomites getting help from the Amalekites, or you know what I'm saying, these getting help from the Amalekites, which is Edomites too. Basically, you know, they was joining up together to fight against us. 2nd Maccabees 12 and 32. Hold on, I might need to jump up. All right, here you go. Yeah. And after the feast called Pentecost, they went forth against Gorgias, the governor of Idumea, who came out 3,000 men afoot and 400 horsemen. And it happened that in their fighting together, a few of the Jews were slain. At which time, Dositheus, one of the Bashanos company, who was on horseback and a strong man, was still upon Gorgias, and taking hold of his coat, drew him by force. And when he would have taken the cursed man alive, a horseman of Thracia coming upon him, smote off his shoulder, so that Gorgias fled unto Marissa. Now when they that were with Gorgias had fought long and were weary, Judas called upon the Lord that he would show himself to be their helper and leader of the battle. Notice Judas always called upon the Lord. So they was fighting the Greek, and then they was fighting the Amalekites at the same time. Now jump over real quick to let me see. Jump over to 1 Maccabees 16. So that's all I went through there, just to show you the wars that they're fighting the Amalekites. Because a lot of people be asking the question, well, show us how the conversion happened. Well, you ain't gonna get everything written in that's written in the Bible, but you can see, you can read throughout the Bible the history of, well, okay, these Edomians, which was Amalek, because you know there was Amalek, because they was dwelling in these lands, and a lot of these in these territories that they conquered from the Arabs. You can tell that these was Amalekites right here. You know what I'm saying? They was Amalek. Now let's go to 1 Maccabees 16 real quick. Now I'm gonna read this whole chapter. I'm gonna run through it. I'm gonna show you when John took the charge, and then I'm gonna read some more excerpts for you. 1 Maccabees 16 verse 1. Then came up John from Gazara and told Simon his father what Barnabas had done. So now Jonathan had died, Judas dead, Jonathan dead. Now Simon had taken over and given the charge. Let's read on. Wherefore Simon called his two eldest sons, Judas and John. One of his sons was John Hycranus. And the reason why he took that name Hycranus, because amongst the Hellenized Jews, their name held a lot of weight. You know what I'm saying? It held a lot of weight. It was like a title, like it was like a title of king or something like that. I gotta find it though. Let me read on. It's a Judas and John, and said unto them, I and my brethren in my father's house have ever fought our youth unto this day, have ever from our youth unto this day fought against the enemies of Israel. And things have prospered so well in our hands that we have delivered Israel oftentimes. And we just read about that in 1 Maccabees 5, 1 Maccabees 6, 2 Maccabees 10, 2 Maccabees 12. And that was just dealing with the Amalekites by itself. But when you read throughout Maccabees, you see how we was fighting Demetrius, Gorgias, Nicanor, you know what I'm saying? All these Greek rulers or Greek generals that was coming up against us, and we was beating the hell out of them. That's why you got the Day of Simon, you got the Feast of Nicanor, we got the Feast of Dedication. All these feasts we got because the wars that was won over these Edomites that we was fighting. That's why we got all these feast days. A lot of y'all don't know that the reason why it's so important for us to keep these feast days and acknowledge these days, because these was days that we got the victories over our enemies. Even Purim, another feast day that we got the victory over our enemies. Passover, you know what I'm saying? Another feast day where we overcame our enemies. Let's read on. Verse 3. But now I am old, and ye by God's mercy are of a sufficient age. Be ye instead of me and my brother, and go and fight for our nation, and the help from heaven, be with you. So Simon Maccabees gave his son Judas and John the charge, you know what I'm saying? And they probably called him, they probably called him Hycranus too, to sit up there to differentiate him from Judas Maccabees. That's why his brother probably was called Hycranus too. I don't know. But that's just my thoughts right there, y'all. So let's read on. Verse 4. So he chose out of the country 20,000 men of war with horsemen, who went out against Barnabas and rested that night in Modin. And when as they rose in the morning and went into the plain, behold, a mighty great host, both of footmen and horsemen, came against them. Howbeit there was a water brook between them. So he and his people pitched over against them. And when he saw that the people were afraid to go over the water brook, he went first over himself, and then the men seeing him passed through after him. That done, he divided his men and set the horsemen in the midst of the footmen. for the enemy's horsemen were very many. Then sounded they with the holy trumpets, whereupon Sennacherib and his host were put to flight. So the many of them were slain, and the remnant got them to the stronghold. At that time was Judas, John's brother, wounded, but John still followed after them until he came to Syndron, which Sennacherib had built. So they fled even unto the towers in the fields of Azotus. Wherefore he burnt it with fire, so that there was slain of them about 2,000 men. Afterward he returned into the land of Judea in peace. Moreover, in the plain of Jericho was Ptolemy, the son of Ababus, made captain, and he had abundance of silver and gold, for he was the high priest's son-in-law. Wherefore his heart being lifted up, he thought to get the country to himself, and thereupon consulted deceitfully against Simon and his sons to destroy them. Now Simon was visiting the cities that were in the country, and taking care for the good ordering of them, at which time he came down himself to Jericho with his sons Mattathias and Judas, in the 167 year and 11 month called Sabbath, where the son of Ababus receiving them, excuse me, receiving them deceitfully into a little hole called Docus, which he had built, made them a great banquet. Howbeit he had hid men there. So when Simon and his sons had drunk largely, Ptolemy and his men rose up and took their weapons and came upon Simon into the banqueting place, and slew him and his 2 sons and certain of his servants. In which doing he committed a great treachery and recompensed evil for good. So Ptolemy Agabus, he was wicked as hell. You know what I'm saying? He was deceitful. You know what I'm saying? That's why the scriptures tell us to never trust our enemies. And he ended up killing Mattathias, and he killed Judas. You know what I'm saying? Now this ain't Judas Maccabees. These the sons of Simon that got killed. Let's read on. Now they did kill John. They didn't kill John Hycranus. Let's read on. Then Ptolemy wrote these things and sent to the king, that he should send him a host to aid him, and he would deliver him the country and the cities. He sent others also to Gazara to kill John, and unto the tribunes he sent letters to come unto him, that he might give them silver and gold and rewards. And others he sent to take Jerusalem and the mount of the temple. Now one had run forth to Gazara, and told John that his father and brethren were slain, and quote, Ptolemy has sent to slain thee also. Hereof, when he heard, he was sore astonished. So he laid hands on them that were come to destroy him, and slew them, for he knew that they sought to make him away. As concerning the rest of the acts of John, and his wars and his worded deeds, which he did, and the building of the walls which he made, and his doings, behold, these are written in the chronicles of his priesthood, from the time he was made high priest after his father. So this right here, y'all, this history right here, a lot of this history you can't find. So now, like I'm gonna go back to these little excerpts out of the Jewish Encyclopedia and out of out of the book of Josephus, dealing with John Hycranus. A lot of his history is hard to find, you know what I'm saying, the work that he did. And he was the ones, after this, that's when he went about, he sat up there, he overcame a lot of these Edomites. He overcame all of these Edomites, and he got to convert them. And we're going to read about that. So once again, open up, read this excerpt. It says, according to the New Standard Jewish Encyclopedia, 1977, page 589, and Encyclopedia Judaica, 1971, volume 6, page 378. Judah Maccabee's son, John Hycranus. We know he was the son of Simon. So you know that's why you got to be careful with when you doing this research and reading these books. You got to know, you got to be able to separate the meat from the bones. You got to be able to separate the meat from the bones, y'all, when you're getting these books. Because sometimes you'll be reading some of these books, history be off as hell. I say, Judah Maccabee's son, John Hycranus, conquered the whole of Edom and undertook the forced conversion of its inhabitants to Judaism. Josephus, the historian, Josephus, the Jewish historian, informed us that Hyrcanus took Matiba, Samega, and now notice how we was reading how Judas Maccabees was fighting them, Jonathan, Simon. Then Simon gave the charge to his son Judas and Judas and John, and then how Esau ended up setting them up to come banquet with him, but he set them up and he killed Simon, Mattathias, and Judas. He kills two of Simon's sons, Mattathias and Judas. John lived, and it tells you about all his word deeds, the building of the walls and his doings, and it tells you that it was written in the book of Chronicles. So now we're reading in this out of the book of Josephus, telling you more about John's works. Okay, Hyrcanus took Medeba, Samega, and the neighboring places, and besides these, Shechem and Jezreelzim, and the nation of the Kuthians, who dwelt at the temple, which resembled their temple which was at Jerusalem. Hyrcanus took also Dora and Marissa, cities of Idumea, and subdued all the Idumeans. So these Idumeans right here that he subdued, remember y'all, these was the Amalekites. These are not the Idumeans of Rome or the Idumeans of Greece. You know what I'm saying? Think about it, just like now. You got the Idumeans of Great Britain, you got the Idumeans of America, you got the Edomites of Great Britain, the Edomites, because Idumea ain't nothing but a Greek word for Edom. You got the Edomites of France, you got the Edomites of Spain, you got the Edomites of Portugal. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same way back then. So these the Edomites of Amalek that you read about, these Idumean cities he took. And the reason why you know, because of where they was dwelling at that time. Okay, here you go. Hyrcanus took also Dora and Marissa, cities of Idumea, and subdued all the Idumeans. And they submitted to the use of circumcision. So he forced them to be circumcised. And then they submitted to it. And the rest of the Jewish ways of living, at which time, therefore, this befell them, that they were hereafter no other than Jews. Now look, I'm going to put the source up here, because I ain't going to read none and not put the source up here. All right, hold on. This is the book Josephus. All right, y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all now, man, it's gonna be a part 5 of this. It's gonna be a part 5. I didn't know I was gonna spend that much long dealing with these Edomites conversion to Judaism. I didn't know I was gonna spend that long on it. Book 13, chapter 9, section 1. So this is what the insert come out of. Now I want to do another. I got another insert. Hold on. I say in 163 BC. Hold on. Jewish Maccabees conquered their territory for a time. They were again subdued by John Hyrcanus about 125 BC, by whom they were forced to observe Jewish rites and laws. They were then incorporated with the Jewish nation, and their country was called by the Greeks and Romans Idumea. You see that? It's that's why I said these Amalekites that was forced. These Amalekites, they the ones who was mostly converted to be Jews, not the Greeks and not the Romans, because you still see that in Greece, they still follow Greek customs today. In Rome, they still follow those Roman customs still to this day. It's with Antipater began the Idumean dynasty that ruled over Judea till its conquest by the Romans. From this time, the Idumeans ceased to be a separate. The Idumeans ceased to be a separate people. So 100 years. Hold on. That's it. That's all I wanted right there. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Let me get this all on. All right, I want to read this out of the 13th tribe. Now, I got this book at the house, but I ain't bring it today. All right, this is the 13th tribe right here. They say Ashkenazi Jewish author and historian, the late Arthur Koestler, agrees that the large majority of Jews are of Khazar and not Semitic origin, that their ancestors came not from Jordan, but from the Volga, not from Canaan, but from the Caucasus, and that genetically they are more closely related to the Hun, Uruguay, and Magyar tribes than to the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And this from the 13th tribe, page 17. So those people over there that's in the land now, remember, they was forced. They had a forced conversion. They came back and in 1948, they proclaimed the land for themselves, or it was they appointed the land to themselves. It's a historian H.G. Wells states the Edomians, Edomites, were made Jews. You see that they was made Jews. The Edomites were made Jews. And the Turkish people, Khazars, were mainly Jews in South Russia. The main part of Jewry never was in Judea and had never come out of Judea. The outline, now this comes from the Outline of History, 3rd edition, page 494. Let me post this up. I'm just reading these excerpts. I got everything written down, y'all, because I don't got some of these books. So if you want to get these books, and I'm going to get them, but right now I can't order no more books. My library is full and I don't got no room. Let's see something. All right. Now it says according to the Jewish Encyclopedia, Volume 4, 1905, page 3, the original stock of the Khazars came from the land of Edom. So these was Amalekites. These was the Amalekites. It said the Jewish Encyclopedia tell us that Edom is modern Jewry. You hear that? Edom is modern Jewry. This witness from the 1905 edition records the connection between modern day Jews and the race of Edom. So I'm telling you, man, you know why this so deep when we bring it out today? Because you got people sitting up here saying that the Esau is the Arabs, but Esau is telling you that he Edom. He's telling you now that the people over there that's claiming to be Jews now, the so-called white man or red man, is Edom. He said, you know, I'm the Edomite. You don't see no damn Arabs pretending to be Jews. It's the white man pretending to be Jews, or the so-called white man. Go to Revelation 2 real quick, 2 and 9. It say, I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. He let you know, hey, the people that's claiming to be Jews, that's the seed of the serpent. The people that's claiming to be Jews over there now, that's in our land, that's the seed of the serpent. And the sons of God went into slavery for breaking the commandments of God. Now look, let me keep going. There was something else I had on this. Hold on. I had a lot of the stuff. Let me see where we at. All right, here you go. The Jewish Encyclopedia tell us that Edom is modern Jewry. This witness from the 1905 edition records the connection between modern day Jews and the race of Edom. You see that? The connection between the modern day Jews and the race of Edom. So those white men over there that's in the land pretending to be Jews, it said, look, they Edomites. So why the hell is they saying that Esau is the Arabs? No. Esau is the so-called white man of the day, the damn red dude. Some anthropologists are inclined to associate the racial origins of the Jews, not with the Semites, whose language they adopted. You hear that? They adopted the language they speak, but with the Armenians and Hittites of the Mesopotamia, which whose broad skulls and curved noses they appear to have inherited. And this comes from the Jewish Encyclopedia, 1905, volume 10, page 284. You know what I'm saying? Now, let me see. What else I want to bring out? It was one other thing. Okay, I brought all that out. Okay. I'm trying to think. All right, check this out. Here we go. It's now remember, we read about how he converted them. Now I'm trying to, I had it when they sit up there, they end up taking over, how they took over during that time. I'm trying to get us to the point of the New Testament now, y'all. Let me see, hold on. Here you go. So 100 years before Christ, Judah was inhabited by Edomites and native Israelites who were both followers of Talmudic Judaism, seeming to heal the breach between Jacob and Esau. But the Edomites proved to be a discordant element. And in 37 BC, Herod the Great, he lived from 74 through 4 BC, an Idumean or Edomite whose wife, Marianne, was a Maccabean, became at the age of 36 undisputed ruler of Judea. So you see how this white man became undisputed ruler of Judea. So look, Hycranus, he converted those Edomites during that time, and they was living with us. So now y'all notice, man, this stuff happened. It took place thousands of years ago. You know what I'm saying? Before Christ. You know what I'm saying? This conversion took place. That's why I'm telling you, that's why when it comes to dealing with our history, that's why a lot of us so lost, man. If you want to see, I'm telling y'all, to find this type of stuff, you got to dig deep as hell. Because they ain't putting this information out here now. You got to dig deep as hell to get this information. Now, let me keep going. It said the Pharisees gained ascendancy over the Sadducees. And there were so many Edomites in the population at the time of Christ that the land was called Idumea, Mark 3 and 8. Okay, the Edomites participated in defense of Jerusalem against the Romans during Titus siege, AD 66 through 7, according to the Jewish Encyclopedia, 1904, volume 5, page 41. So saying they was trying to help Israel because they was dwelling in there too. So now, I showed you the history from how we got from how we was fighting the Greeks during the Maccabees' time, overcoming them. Now you can read about the Maccabees when we took out when we sat up there, we took our temple back. That's how we get the Feast of Dedication. We was overcoming our enemies. We destroyed Nicanor. This when we get the day of Nicanor. Simon, we got the day of Simon. We got all type of high holy days from when we was beating the hell out of them Greeks, them Greek Edomites, you know what I'm saying? And I just took you, so you can read all that through Maccabees. But what we went over today is how we was fighting Amalek. And we went in from when John took charge. And what happened after John, the son of Simon, John Hycranus took charge, and how he sat up there and he converted these Edomites, or he converted these Amalekites into Judaism. And then we show how they ascended Israel, you know what I'm saying, in Judea, and how Herod the Great, and you read about Herod the Great in the New Testament, how he ascended to the throne and became undisputed ruler in Judea. Look, I'm telling y'all, like, it's hard to gap this history together. That's why I know I'm about to do this class again. I got to do this class again because just trying to link this history together like this is hard as hell. I'm just telling y'all the truth, man. It's hard linking this history together like that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you ain't lying, man. Esau some real culture vultures. They take everybody culture. Look what they did when they went into Egypt. They did the same thing in Egypt. They did the same thing in Egypt under the Ptolemaic dynasty. Ptolemy, they went into Egypt. All of a sudden, next thing you know, they the damn Egyptians. He set himself up as Pharaoh. That's why a lot of people be like, well, some white pharaohs too. Yes. But you got to know history, though. You got to know history to understand, okay, you had a time in history where, okay, of course, all the pharaohs was Ham. All those pharaohs was Ham. And then you got a time in history that the pharaohs was of Edomite origin. You know what I'm saying? They was Edomites. Why? Because the Ptolemaic dynasty took over Egypt and they made themselves pharaohs. So you had the white man living in Egypt as pharaohs. You know what I'm saying? I think out of all the mummies that was in Egypt, you had one mummy that was I think you had one mummy that was of no, they couldn't find it. Put it like this, they couldn't find that one mummy. The reason why, because Joseph said, look, make sure you take my body up out of here and you bury it in the land of my fathers. Hey, and that's in the Bible. That's in the Bible. That's why out of all the mummies, is one mummy they couldn't find, and that was Joseph's mummy. Because they came and took his body and buried his body in the land of his fathers. That's in the Bible, but that's a whole different story, man. I got to get back to doing history classes. I really want to start right here because if I keep going, all right, y'all, I'm going to have to change the name of the class and everything. I'm going to have to delete the first couple of jumps. Now, I'll keep them up for everybody who want to know what was going on today. I'm going to start right there. And the reason why I'm going to start right there, because then now it'd be easy for me to finish out this thing. I ain't know if it's going to take me that long, y'all, to link this history up together. But I'm going to, you know, all praise to the Most High. I hope y'all got some understanding out of this today, because just even putting it together wasn't easy. Putting this together wasn't easy. And I got notes. Believe me, I got notes. I got the resources. I just don't got the book. Now to order the book. So I'm going to order these books, y'all. And just go on my Facebook page later. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to post I'm going to post everything up that I was reading today. So y'all can put that in your arsenal. So now, without a doubt, without a fact, we just proved today, man, look, if you still think, if anybody on here even thought Esau was the Arabs, or even was thinking that, then you crazy as hell. And I see how a lot of Israelites, they'll get the mix up, because you had Amalek dwelling in lands that had names that was called Arab this or Arab that. And, you know what I'm saying, when you go deeper back in history, the land was actually, it was, you know, it was I mean, with the language, the way it was translated, it was, the names were spelled differently. You know what I'm saying? The names were spelled differently. So I hope y'all got some understanding out of this day's class. I'm gonna have to wrap it up, y'all. I'm gonna get ready. I gotta get on the road. I don't want to get on the road too late. But do anybody got any question about today's lesson? I want to end it right there. When we get to the point where Herod took over. And you know, we read about Herod after you get through with the Maccabees, after you get through the book of Maccabees, where you go? You go straight into Matthews. Now go to Matthew chapter 2. Because we said, I do want to finish it with this. Go to Matthew 2. Because I just brought out and showing you, you know what I'm saying, out of another source, how that Herod the Great ascended to the throne. You know what I'm saying? He ascended to the throne and became ruler over Israel. Now let's prove that in the Bible. Matthew chapter 2, verse 1. Now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, so notice in the days of Herod the king, you know what I'm saying? Herod had ascended. This Edomite became king over all Judea. That's crazy as hell. Now, it was some more stuff that I had on John Hycranus, y'all. I didn't want to bring it out, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, he converted them. But John Hycranus, he had a lot of BS going on, man. I'm going to tell you this, man. That dude had a lot of BS going on. Let me see if I can pull some of this stuff up. Have it. I should have it bookmarked. Let me see. If I don't got a bookmark, I'm gonna leave it alone. I know I said I was finna wrap it up, y'all. Hold on. Let me see. Yep, I got this too. Now I can't. Let me post this for y'all. Let me post this. I'm gonna post this too. I'm gonna post this for y'all. I'm gonna give y'all another source. Hold on. The Edomites. And this still dealing with John Hycranus. Still dealing with John Hycranus. Let's. Oh, look, y'all, the historical facts out here. You know what I'm saying? It's all on you to sit up there to say, it's all on you to sit back and study, you know what I'm saying? All right, here we go, right here. So I am gonna post this one up in here because I do got a link to it. I don't got the link to the other ones. All right, here you go. All right, look, I'm gonna read this. This ancient Jewish history, the Edomites. It's a traditional enemies of the Israelites. The Edomites were the descendants of Esau, who often battled the Jewish nation. Edom was in southeast Palestine, stretched from the Red Sea of Elah to the Dead Sea. You see that what is called southeast Palestine today. You know? For real. That's why I said like they was dwelling in lands that had Arab names, or they was dwelling in lands where now that they don't dwell in no more, and the Arabs dwell in. But Esau every damn where. But look, let's keep going. Edom was in southeast Palestine, stretched from the Red Sea at Elah to the Dead Sea, and encompassed some of Israel, most fertile land. The Edomites attacked Israel under Saul's rulership. King David would later defeat the rogue nation, annexing their land. At the fall of the first temple, the Edomites attacked Judah and looted the temple, accelerating its destruction. The Edomites were later forcefully converted into Judaism by John Hycranus, and then became an active part of the Jewish people. Famous Edomites include Herod, who built the second temple. You see that right there? Herod. And that's what you're reading about now in Matthew chapter 2. So hold on, I got something else. Let me see. Let me see. Hold on. All right, now I ain't gonna use this right now. Hold on. Let me see something. I'm gonna have to start getting the IT team to come up here when I do these classes, y'all. Gotta get the IT team up here. I had another source, y'all. I can't find it. If I see it, I'm gonna post it. Okay, let me see. All right, so now let's go back to the first Maccabees 2. I want to finish this up. It said, now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, came wise men from the east to Jerusalem. So now you see that, just like we read in historical context, that Herod had ascended to be ruler over Judea. And you read that in the book of Matthew chapter 2. Saying, where is he that is born king of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east and are come to worship him. When Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. And when he had gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where Christ should be. And they said unto him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written by the prophet, and thou Bethlehem in the land of Judah are not the least among the princes of Judah. For out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel. Then Herod, when he had privately called the wise men, inquired of them diligently what time the star appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, "Go and search diligently for the young child. And when ye have found him, bring me word again, that I may come and worship him also." When they had heard the king, they departed. And lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them, till it came and stood over where the young child was. When they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceeding great joy. And when they were come into the house, they saw the young child with Mary his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented unto him gifts, gold and frankincense. Gifts, gold and frankincense and myrrh. And being warned of God in a dream, they that they should not return to Herod, they departed into their own country another way. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, "Arise and take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word, for Herod will seek the young child to destroy him." Which links you right back up, proving that this is the seed of the serpent. Go to Revelations 12. Now, we went over this in part 3. Revelations 12. It's verse 1. It said, "There appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars." So we already went over this, y'all. You can go back and listen to part 3. This woman represents Israel. And she, being with child, cried, travailing in birth and pain to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and appeared a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head. So this great red dragon, this represents Esau. This represents Esau, the damn devil. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven. He had Judah, Benjamin, and Levi in captivity, and did cast them to the ground. And the dragon stood before the woman. So this dragon right here stood before the woman, talking about Israel, which was ready to be delivered, but to devour her child as soon as it was born. You just read about that in Matthew chapter 2, verse 13, how Herod was seeking to kill the child as soon as he was born, to devour the child as soon as he was born. You just read about that. So it shouldn't be no point, it shouldn't be no confusion who this great red dragon is. It shouldn't be no confusion. You know what I'm saying? This is the seed of the serpent. And when you jump back down, to verse 9, it's saying, "And that great dragon was cast out," that old serpent we was reading about in Genesis 3. Here you go, right here, right back in Matthew 2, trying to kill Christ, trying to destroy Christ soon as he was born. It said that great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angel was cast out with him. So with that, y'all, I'm gonna wrap it up for the day, and then we're gonna conclude it. So I need to change everything I wrote that I put up today. I'm talking about conclude. I thought I was gonna conclude this thing today. It wasn't no conclusion. So I'm gonna change the title. So y'all got any questions? Y'all don't got no questions, I'm gonna go and wrap it up. Now I know some of y'all, this might be hard for y'all to understand right now because you're new, but this class right here, this little series I've been doing, they got a lot of meat in it. So I ain't gonna even act like that it's a beginner's class. You know what I'm saying? This joint got a lot of meat in it. And when you try to link history together, especially when some of the history you can't find in the Bible, that's what makes it so hard. When you got anything in the Bible, you good. Because if you can't vet it through the Bible, you can't filter it through the Bible, then a lot of it can't be validated. But if you can filter it back through the Bible, then it's more easier for you to validate the history. All right, y'all. Well, look, hey, Hoshiyah, I appreciate you scribing for me, bro. All praise to the Most High. With that, y'all, I want to say shalom, Most High, Christ bless. I want to give double honors to the bishops, Elder Nathaniel, Elder Kanai. I want to give honors to the deacons, the captains, the officers, the soldiers, all you brothers and sisters that's pushing this truth. Shalom, Most High, Christ bless. Y'all can find the other classes. Just go to IUIC in the classrooms, hit videos, and scroll through all the videos. They're on there. But you probably going to have to go back every 20 classes, because we do so many classes. Y'all got to think within a month, we ain't been to completed like 100 classes. So you have to go back a lot of classes, and all of them called the seed of the serpent, or the sons of God versus the sons of wicked. And you got to go back. And if you watch all 4 of them, if you watch all 3 of them up to this point, to number 4, I guarantee you're going to get a great understanding of what we're going over. And when we conclude it off, you're going to be like, dang, you're going to be amazed with what we're going to end it with. I think the last class is going to be the best one of all, because the first 4 classes is all history, all history. So with that, y'all, shalom, most high, Christ bless.